Joe,
Come on now.
in my city.
You know how it is. Your city? Your city?
In my city.
You don't think I'm gonna hit you with that lip kick?
No.
Many fighters like you. I thought that was strong. Yeah, you go for it. You go for it. You go for it. You're the one that started that shit.
Come on, you go for it.
You punching people's heads in. You and Ryan got in it on X the other day. You said he lacks heart and you're gonna make him quit.
Yeah.
You know,
That's not speculation. That's facts. We've seen it. As soon as he gets on top, as soon as he gets a bit rough in there, he don't like it. You know, so I'll go in there and I'll show him. I'll show him what I'm like.
Who won't do shit? Who won't do shit? Who won't do shit? Who won't do shit? Yeah, who won't do shit? Who won't do shit? Cool. Wait till I smash you up. Wait till I smash you up and make you quit. Wait till I smash you up and make you quit.
Yeah, why?
Make you quit.
Hey, you won't make me the fight. Your dad knows you won't make me the fight. Your dad knows you won't make me the fight.
You quit. You have no.
Conor Benn erupts at RyanGarcia after a tense, disrespectful face-to-face interview. Benn dismisses Garcia as a little influencer and makes it clear he is not overly concerned about his opponent. The exchange quickly becomes heated as both fighters trade verbal shots and intensify the build-up to their upcoming clash.
He's like a big child, he's like a spoiled brat, throws his toys out of the pram on social media, throwing little tantrums. I'm not really too concerned about this little influencer to my right. He ain't a fighter. He can say whatever he wants. It ain't gonna make no difference come September the 12th. Proven. Yeah, 12-round war proven. I don't quit, I don't stay down.
He's not going to make it a 12. There's not going to be a 12-round war, I promise you that.
I don't stay down
good enough. Look at his hair, bro. He's looking for attention. Look at his hair. He's looking for attention. He ain't going to make it past 12, I promise you. This not be a 12-round war. He's not good enough. He's not good enough to beat me. You think this man's going to beat me? You think I'm going to let a guy from the UK come here and beat me and take my belt? He lost the fight.
Listen, Ryan. Calm down, you're having one of them little episodes. Calm down. I know you're getting all excited. I know you're getting all excited, but I'll come over there and smack them glasses straight off your face.
Both fighters come face-to-face during the heated press conference. As the verbal exchanges become increasingly intense, the tension quickly rises when Benn and Garcia stand face-to-face, refusing to back down. Their confrontation adds even more drama to the build-up, with both fighters making it clear they are ready for war.
Smack them glasses straight off your face. That's what I'll do. Sitting there.
You won't do shit. I promise you won't do shit. I promise you won't do shit.
You're not Mexican, bro. You're not Mexican, bro. You ain't got the heart.
Make it a bet.
Yo tengo huevos más grandes que tú, cabrón.
Make it a bet.
Me la pelas, pendejo. Me la pelas.
Make it a bet.
¿Qué vas a hacer? ¿Qué vas a hacer? ¿Qué vas a hacer tú, cabrón? ¿Qué vas a hacer? ¿Hacer algo? Es que tú no vas conmigo para Londres, pendejo. Pendejo, va conmigo para Londres. Tú ya lo sabes.
During the face-to-face interview, the exchange quickly turned heated as both fighters traded verbal shots. Conor Benn pointed at himself and said, 12-round war proven. I don't quit. I don't stay down on one knee. This was a direct reference to Garcia's 2023 loss to Gervonta Davis. Garcia fired back by saying, Benn's not going to make it to 12. He's not good enough. He further added, you think I'm going to let a guy from the UK come here and beat me and take my belt? You've lost your mind. Benn continued his verbal assault by telling Garcia, wait till I smack you up and make you quit. You have no heart. You're not Mexican, bro. The tension between the two fighters continued to escalate as they took their rivalry to X. Benn fired the first shot, directly calling out Garcia and stating, you talk too much. I'm going to smash your head in. Garcia responded, I told you in person you aren't a good enough fighter to beat me. You forced yourself in this position. I will show the lesson of rushing into something you just aren't ready for. With both fighters refusing to back down, the final answer will have to come when they finally meet inside the ring.
Actually go in a second, but just curious, Shakur, RyanGarcia, Conor Benn, RyanGarcia, they're all kind of like, you know, circling each other right now. It seems like right now, it seems like Ryan versus Conor. That's what it seems like. How do you think that fight goes?
I think that's a good fight. I think, of course, Ryan got the experience, but I think Conor got the size and the power, and I think that it's going to be an interesting fight. moving forward.
Okay. Do you have a pick?
I'm gonna go with Conor.
Really?
I'm gonna go with Conor.
For
I
real?
think you're gonna upset him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people picking Conor.
I'm gonna pick him just cause.
Just
I'm gonna go out
cause?
there
All right.
and pick him.
Wow. Terence Crawford shared his prediction on X, stating, "Ryan Garcia, you might get knocked out. You better be training and taking this fight serious." Meanwhile, Tony Bellew and Josh Taylor discussed the upcoming matchup while examining whether Conor Benn is truly ready for a fight of this magnitude. Bellew gave Benn the benefit of the doubt after his recent performances, pointing out that the British fighter had been competing at 160 pounds before having to drop back down to 147. He explained that losing around 10 pounds of muscle can have a significant effect on the body and that Benn needs time to adjust before performing at his best. However, Bellew remained unconvinced that Benn is currently operating at Garcia's level. He questioned whether Benn genuinely merits the matchup and suggested that commercial appeal is a major reason the fight is happening.
Conor Benn is far better than people think, but he's what I will say to you is he's not shown he's at Ryan Garcia's level. That's one thing.
That's what. That's yeah. I don't think he's shown that he's worthy of a fight of that magnitude. Other than massive revenue and massive sort of commercially, but he has done well and he has improved a hell of a lot. Like I genuinely think he has improved a lot. But then going off that last performance against Prograis, I thought, wow,
he did look like a different fighter.
I thought it was terrible. But then I got to say, he got to give him benefit of the doubt as well. He's been up at 160. He's had to then come back down to 147. I think he weighed in at 149 or maybe something like that, 150. But again, it's taken that 10 kilos of, or 10 pounds of muscle off, and that has an effect on your body. You've got to give your body time to adjust to pulling that off and be able to.
Discussion then shifted toward Garcia's unpredictability. Bellew believes that if both fighters perform at their absolute best, Garcia should be considered the clear favourite. However, he warned that Garcia can be difficult to predict, meaning the outcome could change depending on which version of Garcia enters the ring. The analysts also acknowledged Benn's chances, particularly his fitness, pressure, and ability to maintain a strong pace across 12 rounds. His recent performances have also shown improved discipline and an ability to follow a game plan, making him a genuine threat if Garcia is not at his best.
Has not boxed at 147 for 4 years, and when you're trying to make weight and you have to drag to make weight, takes away your A game. Even his A game, I'm not so sure would beat Ryan Garcia, because Garcia is a much improved champion now. Since getting that belt wrapped around his waist, I think he's a much improved champion. He's mixed at a higher level. All right, he hasn't won all of his fights, Garcia, but he's beaten some quality fighters that are much better than Conor Benn. I mean, Conor's done a great job in terms of A, getting paid, and B, talking himself into a world title fight. I don't know who does that. I don't know who's done that previously, but he's managed to do it. Now, for him to beat Ryan Garcia, it will take more than just. It's going to take more than just boxing skill, and it's going to take more than just a big punch. I don't think Conor Benn's going to be physically strong enough, because I think he'd be weight drained. I'm not making excuses for him, you understand, but I think he'd be weight drained before the fight, because I think they don't have a weight stipulation where they can put on as much as they want after the...
Mackenzie questioned whether Conor Benn can find success against Ryan Garcia, especially given the challenges surrounding his return to the 147 pounds division. Mackenzie pointed out that Benn has not boxed at 147 for 4 years and suggested that struggling to make weight could take away from his performance. He also believes Garcia has developed significantly since becoming champion and has gained valuable experience against higher-level opposition. While Garcia has not won every fight, Mackenzie highlighted the quality of opponents he has faced and believes they are stronger than the competition Benn has previously beaten. He acknowledged Benn's success outside the ring, but remained doubtful about his chances against Garcia.
Vectors up there in terms of Boots and Josh Kelly, so he doesn't have an easy pathway there. But why do you boys think, and jump in when you want, that he's made it so unequivocal that he has to fight at 147, given what we've all just said about weight drain and coming back down to that weight again?
Because the opportunity was there at 147. He was made WBC #1 and he was mandatory there, even though he hadn't made the weight, as Duke said, for 4 years, which was absolutely absurd. But the opportunity was there, the big payday is there, and in Conor Benn's head, he'll be saying, yeah, I can still make 147. But I'm with Duke. The reality is he made 150 against Regis Prograis. The punch power had clearly left him down at 150 to what it was against Chris Eubank at 160. And, I think dropping that last 3 pounds, as you guys know, making weight and how difficult that is, that last 3 pounds to the normal guy is like losing 3 stone. And it will take a lot out of him. The reality is, I think we saw against Regis Prograis, 147 is going to be difficult for
Spencer Oliver questioned why Conor Benn remains so determined to compete at 147 pounds despite the obvious challenges involved with making weight. He pointed out that Benn has not fought at the weight for 4 years and believes the opportunity for a major payday is a key reason behind the decision. Oliver also highlighted Benn's performance against Regis Prograis, where he weighed around 150 pounds and appeared to lose some of his punching power compared with his fight against Chris Eubank Jr. at 160. He suggested that losing the final few pounds can be extremely demanding and could have a significant impact on Benn's performance.
Garcia winning this fight, I do think that he's on a different level. But again, a rivalry creates the best in both fighters. And with Conor Benn, he will, I think, fight up to his level of competition, which will make him dangerous. Again, we'll see what the power is at 147, but Ryan's been hit on the chin, been dropped. There is something there. They're both power punchers. I do think it fits Ryan's style that Conor is so, fast twitch, and he has to do all these massive, exaggerated movements behind his jab and his right hand. It leaves openings for the quick left hook from Ryan and the right hand from Ryan. But I think all this plays right into what Ryan wants. Ryan wants him to get emotional. Ryan wants him to come after him so he can get on that back foot, throw that chip.
Wade Plemons broke down the growing rivalry between RyanGarcia and Conor Benn, explaining that the tension between the two fighters has been building for much longer than the current fight announcement. He pointed back to their first notable interaction at the Ring Magazine Awards in January 2025, when the two fighters already exchanged playful but competitive remarks. At that stage, there was no fight scheduled, but Benn's aggressive personality was already clear. Plemons explained that Benn rarely appears relaxed around other fighters and always seems ready for confrontation. He believes Garcia understands this side of Benn and may be deliberately pushing his buttons during their recent interactions.
Cares about that anymore. I think it really messed with him as a kid, as he was coming up in boxing, that he wasn't Mexican enough. But this is on Mexican Independence Day. Maybe Conor Benn can go full on wear, do the Floyd Mayweather thing and wear the Mexican flag, and I'm here fighting for the Mexican people. That might get Conor a bit of a cheer. That might get him a bit more of some fans, because right now it seems like everybody's rooting against Conor, which seems like that happens in most of his fights. But it also might get under Ryan's skin if he goes that route. Really play into the fact that Ryan's not a true Mexican, that he doesn't speak Spanish, that he has no heritage in that he's one of these American talking, social media fighters that ain't really about it. He's kind of doing that. He's not falling for the bait right now. And instead, it's Conor who's getting baited just because Ryan opens his mouth. That's all he has to do is say, you're not good enough to be.
The discussion then turned toward Garcia's approach at the press conference. Plemons suggested that Garcia is using psychological tactics to get under Benn's skin and potentially make him react emotionally. He compared the situation to Benn's previous rivalry with Chris Eubank Jr., where the heated exchanges appeared to affect the emotional dynamic between the two fighters. Plemons questioned whether Garcia is attempting to create the same situation with Benn by continuing to provoke him before they finally step into the ring. The rivalry is clearly becoming more personal, adding another layer to the build-up.
The crowd was great. This is the type of fight that you can bring to a Fanatics Fest type of crowd, and they'd be into it. So the energy was great. Conor Benn busting out the Spanish was a nice little wrinkle. He spends a lot of time in Spain. His Spanish is great, by the way, and I don't know if Ryan speaks Spanish fluently like Conor does, but clearly Conor can hang, so that was fun. The two fathers being up there as well. Henry Garcia kind of got into the shot there, and you could tell Dana didn't love that. He was trying to get him to move away. All good. Nigel Benn there as well. Listen, is it the purest fights, the purest fight fans fight? Maybe not. Are there other people that you would want to see Ryan fight against as far as like a WBC welterweight title defense? Yeah, sure. But this is a fun fight, man. This is a fun fight. It's great for Mexican Independence Day weekend. It's going to be interesting how the UFC is going to do with Noche UFC. I suspect they'll put Noche earlier in the day to lead into...
Ariel Helwani discussed the growing excitement around RyanGarcia versus Conor Benn, describing it as an entertaining matchup with plenty of intensity and personality. He highlighted the heated interactions between the two fighters, including their exchanges in Spanish, which added another entertaining element to the build-up. Helwani also pointed out that both fighters' fathers were involved during the event, adding to the atmosphere surrounding the confrontation. While he acknowledged that there are arguably more accomplished opponents Garcia could face in a WBC welterweight title defense, he believes Benn brings something different to the matchup.
Better boxers than Conor Benn that I would rather see RyanGarcia fight, but as far as like matching his intensity, matching his energy, and Conor Benn is not a top tier boxer of the level that some of these guys that are, the conversation is happening around. But as far as bringing the fight, as far as excitement, as far as energy, like Conor Benn is all of that. And so I love Garcia versus Benn.
It's also the fraud check, right? Like in terms of when Conor Benn signed for Zuffa, the talk from the UK, I remember Dave Allen was on TalkSport and he was like, this guy is the best match fighter of all time. Like, this feels like, okay, well, he's not going to be able to hide in there against RyanGarcia.
No.
This is going to be an absolute check of his skill. And a lot of people feel like, with the likes of Pro Gray and even the Eubank fights, he was always put in the favourable position. So very interested to see how it goes, just in terms of the fight as well as all this stuff.
And there's also a lot of questions about the actual fight itself. Conor didn't look great in his last fight. Ryan looked amazing. Prior to that, Ryan didn't look great. Conor looked amazing. And so it feels very Jekyll and Hyde-ish. I'm very curious to see.
According to Helwani, Benn may not be considered a top-tier boxer compared with some of the other names available to Garcia. However, he brings tremendous energy, aggression, and excitement. That makes the matchup particularly appealing because both fighters are known for their willingness to engage and create action.
Matchup with Conor Benn, who's also signed to Zuffa, but how long before we see Ben Shakur?
Listen, Conor Benn comes through against RyanGarcia, you'll see that sooner rather than later. That's for sure.
Huge.
Absolutely. So is this fight that Conor's going into now. And so Conor can establish himself as a world champion. Shakur Stevenson is a pound-for-pound star. They both signed with Zuffa Boxing. I don't know how Zuffa Boxing is going to get that money back, by the way. If the rumours are right that I'm hearing, and Shakur Stevenson signed a deal, a 9-figure deal, £100 million, I'm hearing, somewhere around that part, or $100 million. How do they get that sort of money back? That is a big signing. Yeah, he's a great little fighter, but perhaps you need that dance partner, and that dance partner is Conor Benn.
Right. We'll see. 100 million.
Lost leader, isn't it? Brings